Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. So this is an update video on the Tab S6 review. I've been using this device for about a week now, and I wanted to share some of the things, cool features that I love about it, and some things which sometimes frustrate me. So let's start off with that. So I'm predominantly a business user. So I use mostly the device for note taking and a bit of going through Microsoft PowerPoint or PDF annotation and stuff like that. And I don't use it for any video editing purposes per se, except for making review videos. So this is the SPEN. It's nice shiny. It's blue in color. I love the blue color. Nice tip there, very pointy, and you can even use this for scrolling. And if I have configured this button here, and if I do a long press, presto, the note tab actually comes up automatically, and I can start writing here. Okay, and I do once I've taken my notes, it goes into the Samsung Notes, and then I can open Samsung Notes from here. There you go, and I can start continuing my write-up work. A good thing about this tab is the fact that since now I'm in the edit mode, I just click on this, double click here, and it easily recognizes writing there, and I can convert. And I can even do for a longer sentence. Let me show that how. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So I deliberately wrote it in 2 lines. I'll show you how interesting that is. So I double click this. Okay, I can even drag now for the second line, and then it does a quick translation there. Some errors here and there, but I think it's good enough for a regular user like me. And there you go. And if I want to edit here, I can just go to the edit tab and delete. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and there you go. That's as good as 1, 2, and 3. Now, an interesting feature of this tablet in that sense is the fact that, okay, I save it and I go back to the home page. Let's say you have already written some of the aspects. So for example, I've written some things here, and I click on it, edit, charging fast. So even if something is written before, it is able to detect that quite nicely. You just might want to change the spelling here and there, but otherwise I think you won't find it as a regular error. There's another file here which I have saved, again the quick brown fox. So double click, and there you go, quick brown fox, quite flawless in that case. So if you write it a bit more legibly, it is able to understand that and convert quite quickly. And to configure the double click, all you have to do is go to the SPEN settings and then change the configuration. It's a very simple procedure for it. Now the second thing I love about this device is the keyboard. This keyboard is not too bad. So for example, I just it snaps on very well, quite nicely snaps on, and I can open any Word document. There you go. I have a Word document here, and I can type further. Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, the key travel is not that great, so you might want to practice a bit more. I think it takes some time. It's only about a week now, so maybe after a month's time when I review it again, I'll tell you whether I've gotten used to it or not. It's quite small, so, and I use caps lock more than shift, so sometimes my timing of switching off the caps doesn't work, so I make that error quite often with this particular keyboard. But I have seen that happening with many keyboards. For instance, I have this with a nice Lexus engraving of Logitech keyboard, when I bought for my iPad. And there's a groove here. You can even use Bluetooth keyboard with this device. So it took me some time to get used to this keyboard. I hope it's the same gestation period for this keyboard that I'll get used to. Now the interesting fact about this keyboard is when I'm in the typing mode here. Alright, now for example, if I close it and I flip the keyboard, okay, I flip the keyboard and let's say I accidentally touch. See, I'm touching here. It doesn't detect. That's a cool part of it. Doesn't detect. So there's little chance that you will make an error here, and you can open the on-screen keyboard. And there you go, my on-screen keyboard. You can switch it on, and then for example, if you're done with it, you go back to the normal mode, and then once you start typing, the keyboard vanishes. So that's a cool feature for this particular tablet. I really love the fact that there are no accidental clicks, except for two things that happened with me. So number one is this function keyboard. So I was using it and I accidentally, for some odd reason, I typed a function and space together, and I'll show you what happened. I lost my trackpad. So it's this space here, if you look at the icon, is actually a switching off of trackpad. I didn't know that, so I accidentally pressed it. Sometimes we do control space or control B or something, and because the control and functions keys are so close to each other, it so happens that it gets clicked accidentally. So that happened with me. I don't think it will happen with everybody, but it did happen with me. So in the event that it happens with you, all you have to do is just long press this again, press together, and you will get your trackpad. You'll get your trackpad back. So that was an interesting finding that I had, and I just wanted to share that with you. So this is quite a cool feature. Another interesting feature that I saw is my files folder. So if I go to this folder, I have all these apps here. I have an SD card loaded here. Now if I go to my network storage, I have configured my MacBook Pro to be aligned, to be connected to the network storage here. It's an SMB protocol, and I click on it. Sorry, I have my Wi-Fi off. Alright, switch on the Wi-Fi, give it a couple of seconds, and my Wi-Fi is connected, and there you go, my file folder is shown here. So I go to I have a few comics here, so I can just click on it and I can download any comic that I want. And if you don't want to see watching it, just hide the pop-up. It will automatically download and get a notification later. So this is quite an interesting feature that I loved about this device. Now coming to the con section. So what really is a challenge with this particular device? The first one, to help you understand a bit more on this, I'm sure all of you will have your favored headphone systems. This device does not come with a headphone jack, so there is no provision for it, and everything is via this USB-C. And I had one USB-C to 3.5 mm headphone dongle, and I thought that I can connect my headphone, my wired headphone, to this device, and look at what happens. The connected device is not supported. So I think this was a big surprise for me. I thought it will work, but unfortunately it did not. And I tried a lot to search online, and there was only one particular section in Samsung community that said that you need to connect a USB-C DAC based adapter. Now, as a common user, I don't think anybody will know this. So that's a note of carefulness for all of you. If you are preferring this device over others, just bear in mind that this does not work. So if you have your own 3.5 mm jack, you might have to buy a USB-C DAC base converter. So other than that, you can still do your Bluetooth, but I think it's a strategy on its own. Many companies are doing it, but I would have preferred to have this adapter or a DAC based adapter as part of my boxed set, but actually they don't provide that. So they provide their own headphone system which comes with that feature, but you have to use the Samsung headphone for it. So I don't think this is a good feature at this point of time. It is quite frustrating because I have this nice pair of headphone from a company called Boat. It's very soft, it's nice snowy white in color, there's quite a good cushion, so I really enjoy using this more than any other headphone, and unfortunately I cannot use on this device for many of my office purposes. So that was one of the challenges I faced in this device. The second challenge that I sometimes face, it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen here and there. So if I do an unlock of the system and then I try to go into switching it on, I need to find out. You see, it takes some time and I have to press a little longer and only then it opens up. So that is one of the challenge that I face with this particular device. But having said that, bear in mind that SPEN can also unlock this device. So I've seen that happening a few times, but even that is sometimes a hit and miss. So in this case it opened up quite well, so you notice here, but after a period of time it sometimes does not work. But if you configure this as a smart device for it to unlock, then it's fantastic. It actually works well. So that was my second point of view here, which needs to be worked on in terms of unlocking the device. Now for the third issue and challenge that I'm facing with this device. This particular watch, which is the Galaxy S3, which I have here with a nice stainless steel strap, I cannot seem to make this work with this particular tablet, and I found out online that on the Samsung website as well, that tablet or Tab S6, any form of Samsung tablet, does not support connection to Galaxy watches or any Samsung based watches. But fortunately I have an iPhone with me, so I was able to configure this with my iPhone. So those are the three major complaints that I have with this device. I'll join you back again with more updates. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Otter out.